This now is our top story, what I'm calling the brand new start to a revolution in the Indian mobile market. The Moto E. Now, why am I so gung-ho about it? Well, the review will tell you all, but it's really about the business strategy. Motorola at one time, truly the kings of mobile phones, then lost momentum, then made a comeback with some great new designs, again died out, and eventually the company completely was dead and buried to most people. Then Google comes back, does something interesting, and suddenly Motorola, in the last 3 releases, has become a formidable force to be reckoned with. The Moto E is a prime example of that. At about 6,900 rupees, this is a phone with almost no compromises. It's got Corning Gorilla Glass, it's got a great processor, fantastic to hold, great screen, runs very, very fast, good battery life. Almost nothing for us to really criticize on the face of it. It's 7,000 rupees. So what is the Indian competition? They are the ones who really are dominant in this market space. What do they do now? Is this really as good as I'm making it out to be? This is the Moto E, as detailed a review as we've ever done.
Budgets differ, expectations don't. And to cash in on just that, Motorola brings its Moto E at 6,999 rupees to fulfill expectations and make other smartphones look very expensive. The name of the game in the Indian market is to bring in high-spec phones at rock-bottom prices. But this game is played by Indian brands and local players. When a multinational iconic brand plays the same game and plays it better, it's time for a revolution to awaken. That is what the E from Motorola represents. While it's cheaper than the competition, it's nowhere close to cheap. The E feels like a real smartphone with features that can blow its competition clean out of the water. The Moto E's motto is made to last. Price for all is its tagline and also its soul and spirit. Moto E follows design cues from the Moto G and Moto X and has an even more pronounced curved back that feels very good to hold. This phone is a little heavy at 142 grams for its tiny appearance, yet it feels solid. More noteworthy than the looks is the fact that it is splash-proof and dust-proof. The Moto E comes with a 4.3-inch display with a resolution of 950 by 540 pixels. This is much higher than the displays found on most smartphones at this price point. The display is relatively crisper, and while the viewing angles are not great, they are better than what's available in this price range. The display also gets Corning's Gorilla Glass protection, which is unheard of at this price point, and no other smartphone priced below 10,000 rupees provides it. Having the latest Android 4.4.2 is a huge plus on this device. It runs on an almost stock Android UI and will always be the first to get the latest software updates. This is where even the most expensive phones suffer. The touch interface is snappy and accurate. One of the shortcomings of the Moto E is its camera. It has a 5-megapixel back camera with a fixed focus that just doesn't match the standards of earlier Motos. There is no LED flash like most smartphones in this price range, and then there is no front-facing camera either. Sigh, the only chink in its armor. The Moto E comes with a 1.2 GHz dual-core processor paired with 1 GB of RAM. It runs fluidly with no lag whatsoever. The Moto E features 4 GB of onboard storage. Add up to 32 GB memory card in the phone. The 1980 mAh battery will easily give you a full day's worth of usage. The other important consideration is that the Moto E is only available on Flipkart, a business model that has worked for both companies to reduce retail costs. Sell Guru verdict: it's a game changer, a complete brand builder, and a fantastic value for money phone. Motorola has cracked the price barrier just right, making it a step ahead from its competition. If you don't mind giving up on a front camera, Moto E is the best Android under 10,000 rupees. Case closed.